Welcome to CEO Money TV. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. I'm with Jared Febbroriello, Principal, JPF Securities, jpfsecurities.com. Jared is also our corporate counsel. He's got some very interesting points that we need to bring out. So if it affects you, I suggest you getting in contact with Jared. Jared, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Michael. I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. All right, now tell our viewing audience some of the changes that are coming up, how it's going to affect them, and how they can prepare to be ahead of the curve on this. So number one, we've got some securities rules that just changed, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, we've seen a rapid development in terms of liquidity and renewed interest in the over-the-counter markets. We've seen an increased deal flow in terms of reverse mergers and an increase in interest from overseas companies. In Q1, we saw 47 IPOs, which was the busiest since 2014. And we believe that the increase in liquidity is going to be great for small companies because it really dried up during the Obama era. And we're hoping to see that come back in a major way. What
about the political climate? How's that affecting what people need to be prepared for?
So, in our practice, we do a lot of work across several different federal agencies, and what we've been hearing is that Trump's executive order, whether you love him or hate him, he has been successful in deregulating the U.S. government. His executive order requiring 2 regulations to be identified for removal for every one regulation that is introduced has had a very strong impact across the different agencies, and we think that the political climate is probably pretty good for small companies at the moment. You're not going to see quite as vigorous regulation, at least in the over-the-counter markets. Another thing that might be helping to take some of the pressure off is the new interest in the ICO market. But as you know, the ICO markets have sort of gone sideways, or at least negative.
It has. It's gone kind of quiet.
We think that that's probably going to be good for the over-the-counter markets and hopefully for small business issuers.
So, biggest issues you see in the next 12 to 24 months that everybody needs to be prepared for?
We think that there probably will be a pullback at some point. We tell our clients that be prepared for a pullback. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's very natural to see the markets go that way. But the good companies, they'll take that time to kind of prepare for the next uptick. I mean, you essentially load up the boat when there's storm and the sea, and then push off as soon as it settles, right? So we're going to take or continue to help our companies access the capital markets, and if the liquidity comes back in the way that we anticipate, there should be, I think, a lot more options out there for smaller companies who want to access the U.S. capital markets.
Thanks for being a guest today, Jared.
Thank you, Michael.
My pleasure. If any of this affects you, please don't hesitate to contact Jared. And as I said, he's our corporate counsel. I trust him. Thanks for watching. You've been watching CEOmoney.tv with Michael Yorba.